All right. So welcome everybody. So great to be with you all. And of course, this is, as we know, the autumn equinox, the fall equinox. So I just wanted to speak to that a little bit, that what does it, it means so many things, but it's transition. We're transitioning, and we're going to notice our transitions, especially in the yoga flow as we move from one pose to another, because ideally we want to gracefully transition, right? And we want to ask ourselves, or inquire as we move into more. Now it's a balance of light and dark for a short time, then we'll go into more less light, more darkness. But who are we now as we're emerging, or as we like to emerge from doing what we can in this pandemic? And what have we learned? Who do we, for example, do I want to return to just the busyness as usual? Some of that is required in our lives, of course, but how I want to transition ideally is with some grace, with some wisdom, a lot of wisdom, as we're approaching whatever appears in our day-to-day life, moment by moment. And talking to a lot of people, parents especially, they're caught in that grip again of juggling so many things and just trying to feel like they're doing it and not be exhausted by it. So if we can just take a moment and reflect, and not just a moment, but a deeper inquiry of who we are now, what have we learned? Because in these equinoxes, it's almost like a new year, that's symbolic of the new year. We want to reflect on the past 9 months, and what has happened there. And then where do we want to go? How do we want to be ideally and the times to come? That makes sense. All right. So fall equinox, we're going to do a balance breathing because we are in this short period of balance of light and dark. I usually focus on lengthening the exhale because most of us need that vagal nerve parasympathetic response coming in, calming the nervous system. That's so much the antidote to stress. And breath work, yoga, chanting, singing, exercise, so many things will help us with that balance. So this is a big, important balance time. So I'm going to ease back a little bit, and we'll do our comfortable seated breathing. Now, it may be a 5 on the inhale for you and a 5 on the exhale. It could be a 6, it could be a 7. I'm going to go for the 5, and then you regulate yourself what feels right to you. So if I'm counting 5, you go 6 or 7. We'll take a moment at the top of the inhale, hold the breath, focus at the spiritual eye, and then exhale, letting it out. Okay, so first let's exhale through the mouth. Close the eyes if you're comfortable with that. Feel the full belly breathing. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently hold. Exhale through the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty out. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath gently. And then exhale through the nostrils. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go at your own count. Inhaling full yogic breath, belly, heart, ribs expand. We're in the gratitude of life. And then the exhale, what can we let go of? What can we ease out of? So you're counting 2 more rounds. Inhale, belly, heart, crown opens. Hold the breath, balanced breath, exhaling, releasing not only physical tension, perhaps the deeper psychological things we'd like to let go of as we reflect on this equinox. And one more round. Find your pace of the balanced breathing. And hear that oceanic sound already starting to interiorize and go within. And now we'll add the whole body movement. So I'm going to come over to the mat and we will get into the flow and with awareness of the transitions. So this will be fun. Okay, I'm going to gently move you over to the side, and we're going to start. You definitely want a blanket so that your knees are padded, and we're going to stretch out in what's called prayer pose. You're extending. If this is too much, you can have the knees in line with the hips, and you can extend like this. Okay, and as we're in the interiorization of prayer pose, bowing to the wisdom of our heart. We're just going to feel a lift. So on the next inhale, we're going to lift the tail, just from the tailbone through the crown, just get a little extension, looking to the front of your mat, and then drawing back in again. Exhale. Do this a couple times. Inhale, tailbone, root chakra, through the crown, lengthening up. And then exhale, softening back inward. Getting used to this transition, this invitation to go more inward at this time. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the right as we lift up. It's called tenting your hands, lifting the wrists up and really breathing into that left side. More so. Feel the ribs expanding, spaciousness in the lunar side of the body. And not staying here too long, you're just walking our hands over to the left. Walk, walk, walk. Tenting the hands. You can see stretching to more the right side. Obliques, the ribs, solar energy. And then back to the center and just taking a moment, perhaps setting your intention for the class, or perhaps deeper for this time in your life. Who are you now as you're emerging? And what would you like to bring into your life? I know we're not totally re-emerging, but you can perhaps feel that's the direction we're going in. All right, rounded cat. Now, you do this a lot, and I know some of you want to, we're going to do one basic rounded cat, and then if you really want to add core work, there's something simple we could do to really activate the core. So we're going to wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, as you know. We're going to inhale, scoop out the low, mid, upper back, eye gaze up. And then exhale, rounded spine. Strong hand. Shoulders to the sky. Now neutral spine. Now notice what happens when we lift the knees off the ground just a couple inches and we do our cat stretch. We'll try this a couple times. It really activates everything. So lifting off of the knees if you choose. Inhale, scoop out the low, mid, upper back. Exhale and round. Much more dynamic, right? One more time. Inhale. So if you want to add extra core strengthener, lift off the knees. Exhale, round. Every muscle group is working. And then lift the tailbone up to the sky. Magnetize the heart toward the thighs. And shred it out. Pressing into the base of the fingers. Getting the physical alignment, adding some flow if you want. Bending the knees, rippling, or stability as you invite calm energy
to radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being, balancing the parasympathetic nervous system, the parachute, constantly going back between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, and yoga works so good, and breath work on balancing our nervous system. Okay. And then let's just walk one foot forward, then the other, one hand, then the other, walk, 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 slight bend to the knees, Uttanasana, taking out any unnecessary worries. Mind likes to do that. We bring it back to the breath, to this present moment. Awake my brain, be wise, be strong. If you want to massage the scalp, awake my brain, be wise, be strong. And your choice, rippling up or straight spine. I'm going to ripple up, shake it out. Take your time. The head is the last thing coming up.
And we're going to mountain pose. And just take a moment here at a root chakra. And literally, what are you rooted in? I'm rooted in support of the earth, the support of the class. Just tune into where your foundation, safety, security, where you want to root into in terms of balance or stability, safety, security. Let's take a moment. We'll do not all the chakras at once, but just feel from the root chakra, the first chakra down, really feeling that energetic support of the earth. And then inhale, sweeping the arms up, feeling the space all around you, lengthen and grow, and add a mini back bend. Inhale, coming back to center. And we're going to swan dive forward. We're going to hinge at the hips, coming forward. Into our forward fold for a moment. And stepping back that right foot into lunge. So have your blocks by your side or any of your props that are helpful to you. Left knee, left ankle perpendicular, like we do. We're going to add that cat upper body, belly, heart, round, lengthening. And then exhale, round. This is too much. You could come on your knee, on top of that right knee, and do that movement. Drawing in and drawing out a couple times. And then we're going to add the sweeping arm. So what does that mean? We're going to sweep this left arm up and then thread it through the knee and the right elbow. Okay, so it's a transition, right? Left arm up, twisting in our lunge, notice the transition. And that left arm coming down between the left knee, right elbow. Threading the needle in the lunge. Good for the brain. To be mindful in our transitions. One more time here, threading through. And then reaching up. Head to tail connected. And then what we do here is we bring that left arm down. Heel the toes back. Stretch through the hamstrings, opposite hand to opposite foot here. Left hip draws back, but again and again, bowing to the wisdom of the heart. It's the intention. My intention is moving into this world from a wisdom, deeper, our spiritual nature that's here, whole and free. Connected to that as we move into all of the activities of the day. And then from here, transitioning, bending. Now this is an interesting transition. So what we're going to do is we're going to step this left foot back enough to turn to the side and extend that right leg, okay? So the left foot that was in front in the lunge, gracefully transition to our side stretch, left knee underneath the hip, right leg extends, right arm lifts up. Yes. So Pilates move here as you lift. Now you could have this right foot on the ground the whole time, level 1. Level 2, reaching up, maybe making some small circles. Breathing in, 3 times in one direction, they're not big. 3 times in the opposite. Great. And then the right foot comes down, we stretch over, extend strongly through the side body, ventilate. Excellent. And then we bring this arm down. We come back to our cat stretch. If you want more intensity, we'll do 1 rounded cat extension, then back to down dog. Or you can have the knees on the ground or off the ground. Your body, your choice, always. And I'm going to lift off. Inhale, scooping out. Moment upper back. Exhale, rounded cat. One more time as we make the transition back to down dog. Stretching it out. Flowing with our down dog, and a little side to side movement. Calmness radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Now, we're going to do one transition into the next flow before we do our classic plank up dog sun salute situation. We're going to look at the hands and step the right foot forward. So take your time, turn it to the side, get the right ankle, right knee plugged in alignment and the perpendicular. You come off of that knee if you can in our lunge. That's it. And we do a couple pulses, pressing through the large toe and second toe, that back foot especially round. Breathing in and breathing out at your pace, at your flow. Maybe different than mine. You can always bring that a little left knee on the ground. And then we're going to sweep up the right arm, getting the extension, and then threading that right arm between the knee and the left elbow. Transitioning in our twist. Ideally with grace. If it gets confusing, that's fine. Just take our time to figure it out. Like life, opening up, and exhaling, threading through. One more time, inhale, feel the wonderful twist and lunge. And then the exhale, the transition. So the left knee touches down, but then we peel back the right toes, draw back the right hip, left hip foot forward, opposite hand, left hand, the right foot. Stretching through that hamstring. I forgot to say, if this is too much, you can always modify Jani Shirshasana. Okay, always make it work for you. Bowing to the wisdom of the heart. Opening to lead the way. Hear the sound of the breath.
And then we bend, we release the hand. We make that graceful transition. I'm bringing my right hand inside the right knee, stepping that right knee down. Turning to the side here. A little different transitions than I usually do in class. I purposely wanted to change it up because it is that time. The wrist is underneath you. And we're stretching through the left arm. Now this could be your stretch. If you can, lift that left leg up. Yeah, and make some circles. First in one direction 3 times. And then in the opposite. That's it. That's it. When you're complete, that left leg comes down. We stretch through the lunar side, really opening up. Kind of arc it back a little bit more, tailbone down, so you're not coming forward in the side stretch. Okay. And when you're complete, we come back down into a moment of our cat to transition into our classic, what we're probably used to, our classic transition. So that would be, let's go down dog. We can't get enough down dogs. As we go back and forth, maybe make that figure 8 with the hips. And just feel that calm, knowing that we're balancing our nervous system every time we do pranayama and yoga. And the second chakra is creativity, sensuality, but it's also balance. It's balance. We're just tuning in between the pubic bone and the navel as we move side to side. And you could say, I am balanced by, and you fill in the blank there. I get my balance by doing yoga, breath work, coming into plank. Don't collapse the head or the belly. And then chaturanga. It could be knee, chest, chin chaturanga or classic chaturanga as we unfurl the toes. And then we do our flow work in the shoulders. So we go into that figure 8 in the shoulders. Rocking side to side here. And let's just take a wonderful rest as we love to do on our belly, stacking one hand on top of the other, resting at the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows, the 6th chakra. Our seat of intuition, our higher awareness. As we connect also to the belly, 1st and 2nd chakras. Top and shoulders. Back body is expanding to the sky as we breathe. And setting it up for our Bhujangasana, cobra pose. So we know this one. And elbows come down by our side, hands underneath the shoulders. And we're eventually pressed, where the legs are strong, we're rising up, maybe here, maybe on the knees, maybe off the knees. Either case, you're pressing through the tops of the feet, adding that throat chakra, lion's breath, sticking out the tongue. Reflecting on our speech, our expression of our heart, or just basic communication, and our internal dialogue. And so all that is going on in the throat chakra. Okay, knees touch back down if they're not already. Let's rest again in our prayer pose, knees a little bit wider than the hips or a lot wider than the hips. As we touch down, the wrists can lift up. So maybe touching the spiritual eye, but
Feeling the energy radiating through the spine, through the central channel of the spine. And come back up again. This time, we just pour back into our forward fold, walking, walking, walking. If you can, bring the base of the palm of the hand underneath the soles of the feet. Cut at the wrist, natural, rocking side to side. If that's too much, just go ahead and rest in your forward fold here. And relax and cast aside unnecessary mental burdens. Okay. You're aware of your mind doing that. You bring it back, the breath to any of the senses. Like looking at a tree or a sky is very helpful. And releasing the hands. And we're going to bend the knees and come up into Uttanasana chair pose. Sweeping up and then through. Inhale. Going through any of the ways you really don't want to take with you into this autumn equinox. You prefer not to as you reflect and lengthen and grow. All right, lifting off the heels and feeling the, so we lift off for a moment and then we feel the space all around us. Back to our, well, let's swirl first before we get back to our mountain pose. Good. So we did some lunges with the twist, some side stretch, transition, still focusing on the chakras as we root down into our mountain from our root chakra down, our second chakra. Now our third chakra, our power center above the navel, below the chest here. And so we want to think of what do I want to be empowered by, right? And we don't want to power over people. We don't want to feel powerless, but what is the true sense of empowerment? And just take a moment there. Reflecting, lengthening through the crown, that right use of power, or what do I want to be empowered by? In yoga, it's the divine, the infinite self is powering through this individual self. And how do I stay attuned to that higher consciousness? And the humanness comes in for sure. Our humans on this earth plane, and yet there's something higher managing it all, if you will. Thank goodness. And how we tune in. We're drawing in, that's right use of power in the solar plexus. And then the heart, the ability to give and share and receive love, unconditional love, compassion. And all of these chakras, of course, have their opposites, duality of contraction, restriction, not kindness. So these human qualities come in and we want to be able to return to more of that. I feel the feeling of more expansion, more loving kindness. Okay. So just kind of breezing through the very important chakras. We've done 5 of them already, and 6 actually. And we're going to step, and they're always being activated. We're going to step wide now. And we're going to move into with the toes turned in. And we're going to bring our hands to the heart center, opening the book of the heart as we allow that spacious, loving kindness to permeate all within us and all around us, vibrating in that flow, ideally hinging forward at the hips, exhaling, knuckles lift to the sky, crown of the head toward the earth.
Do a few pulses like this, stretching up and easing down with strength in the legs. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we're going to take our hands and slide them down the sides of the legs so that eventually the wrists are underneath us, wrists underneath the shoulders. And we're going to turn the left fingertips toward the right hand. We've done this before. We twist to the right, okay? The right palm is facing away from us on the inhale. On the exhale, bend that left elbow and just turn the right palm in towards you as you relax your upper body. We're getting underneath the scapula, okay? Dental floss with the scapula. So we're in and then we inhale and that palm turns away from you, the left arm extends. And on the exhale, the rotation, the transition, upper body relaxes down. Right palm in, left elbow back. Do this a couple times. Inhale. Right palm out, extending both arms. Elongate through the spine. And then fold in. Transition inward. And we're in equal day, equal light, expanding, yang, solar energy. Ready to meet the day perhaps. And then, how do we meet the day? How would we like that to be? And last time, extending, and then letting this right hand come down. Before we go to the other side, another transition. Now this could be a lot on your knees, so be careful. We're rotating the left toes up and see if this knee wants to come down like this. In fact, why not make it really easier? I'm just thinking of this in the moment. Let's come all the way down into a Jani Shirshasana before we go to the other side. So that right foot is inside the left thigh. We're moving the cheeks side to side. You could sit on a blanket that will help lift up. And the right hand is on the right knee. We're twisting toward that left leg. Bringing the hands to the heart. The ability to give and receive love, okay? So many people in our professions, doctors, nurses, therapists, some of the teachers know a lot about giving, physical, occupational therapists know a lot about giving. Can we receive? That's the big, that's the big journey for many of us in these professions. So coming forward, you can use a strap and you can use your hands to inhale, lift the heart toward the toes. Heart chakra expansion, receiving is part of it, giving and receiving. Love and compassion to others and to ourselves. And then we fold forward into that classic fold. Breathing in, breathing out, left and right and all around. Life harmonies are mine. That's the affirmation in this pose. Left and right and all around. Life's harmonies are mine. Forward folds, they relax the nervous system. Going back and forth between that extension, expansion, and relaxation. Now we're going to lift the heart. We're going to sweep the arms up. We're going to twist toward that bent knee as we extend through that left leg. Feel the space all around. Bring the left hand on the right knee, chin parallel, and twist. If you want to pulse back on the inhale, ease back and twist out, bring out some of that physical tension. And ease back and bring out some of that emotional, mental tension. Twist it out, literally.
as we do that, we're better able to just source back, take a moment here into our spiritual nature, already whole, already free, already aware. I'm just going to do a couple cycles of the balanced breathing, whatever that count is for you. Yeah, we enjoy the pauses throughout the day. I know we're all in different stages in our lives, and one of the things the pandemic has taught me, I tell you, I had the luxury of more relaxed mornings. Boy, is that sweet to just ease into the day here rather than decades of get and go, 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 go. So, wow, whew, I'm grateful for that. Hopefully I can incorporate that as things continue. Okay, we're going to draw the knees in, and hopefully many of you are enjoying those more useful mornings. We're going to go wide with our legs again and go to the other side. So, turning the toes in, reaching the wrists underneath the shoulders, elongated spine. We know where we're going here. We're turning the right fingertips toward the left hand, the whole torso twist to the side. Oh, left palm is facing away from you, both arms extended, head to tail extended. And then what are we doing? We're turning the left palm inward as we bend the right elbow and relax the upper body. 3 times. Inhale, left palm away, hydrating, dental floss for the scapula, the shoulder blade. Exhale, left palm in, right elbow bends, upper body relaxes. One more time. Opening up. Expansion and then ease. Even though the legs are still strong. And then we transition, working on those transitions, literally. This left hand comes down. This is a lot on the knee to do. The right toes turn up and we do a deep squat. If your body can. It may not work for your body, so that's okay. And we're going to attend to that by going into Jani Shirshasana with the left foot inside the right thigh. If you want to use a folded blanket to help lift up a little bit, that's helpful. Feel the toes back. Left hand on the left knee, twist toward that extended right leg. Hands to the heart. Tapping in the heart center, the spiritual eye, the sixth chakra, the crown of the head, the I am, very 1,000-petal lotus here, are very much a witness, observer, expansive, non-judgment, spiritual self. As we extend forward, first with a straight spine, you can use a strap. And get the dynamic energy, the hamstring very active. Now the hamstring's still going to be active as we come into our forward fold. Every exhalation, see if you can ease down a little bit more. Left and right and all around me. Life's harmonies are mine. So from that spiritual divine self, we're just allow the crown chakra, the I am, we're allowing ourselves to just open to left and right and all around. Life's harmonies are mine. Now, it may not seem like that, of course, in the world and all the complexities, but within our inner self, in our spiritual self, there is wholeness, there is peace, there is love, divine love. That's the harmony we're talking about.
our highest nature. And as you inhale, we're lifting up toward the toes and all on the evolutionary stages of coming back to that as we sweep our arms out to the side, opposite hand to knee, the other hand like a kickstand behind you. What, chin parallel to the floor, what can you wring out? Navel to the spine. What do you want to bring back in? So, twisting in this autumn equinox. Can't see, I'm seeing lots of squirrels out there gathering the walnuts as you twist. So there's expansiveness, our sight in this present moment. And then we come back and we just take these wonderful pauses, perhaps. Maybe you want to bring a couple pauses into the day and just feel the pranama, the more subtle energy, whatever the count is, or you just want to breathe in and out. Notice how the body, mind is coming into balance. The heart's capacity to love. Think of meditation as love, as returning to wholeness, to love. All right. And we got one more flow to do. We haven't done a classic balance pose yet. So we'll bring our feet underneath us. We'll roll forward. We'll walk our hands forward just to gently transition. Walk our hands over to the little toe side of the right foot. Stretch out. Bend that right knee. Stretch out to the left side. Like we did in the prayer pose, but now we're feeling more in the leg and the side body, of course. And then walking over, hands for the little toe side of the left foot, then the left knee extend out to that right leg, right side, solar energy. And back to center. Let's come up in our chair pose again, our strength pose, stretching back. Sweeping up, and then reaching up. Lifting up the heels, feel the space all around you. One hand on the belly, the other on the heart, or whatever chakra you're wanting to tune into. Remember those chakras, in the yoga practice, naturally we turn those lotus petals upward. And in our practice of Hatha Yoga, and so symbolic of this said many times, I didn't make this up, the lotus flower, and no matter what, the mud, the muck, the ick, it still expands. In fact, there was this incredible lake in the Rocky Mountains, Bear Lake, if you've been to it, had all these lotuses all around it, just, it was amazing, expanding. Breathing in, breathing out. I'm going to do Lotus Mudra in the heart center. And we're going to transition into our triangle, into our half moon. So this is the one where it's nice to have the wall behind you. It's nice to have a block. Do what you can here for our balance pose. Okay. So you can use the wall as your block. If you don't have the wall, you just have the block there. So doing our upper here, hold the base board and a block. So right toes out to the side, left foot in 30 degrees, belly dance their arms, expanding through our heart chakra, radiating what we love in our heart out with our hands, vice versa. Reaching over in our Trikonasana, triangle pose, lightly having this hand slide down, perhaps the shin,
Stacking those shoulders, getting the physical alignment so that we can open up into energy and joy. Fill my body cells. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. Going either in a swirling arc for the shoulder or keeping it extended into classic Trikonasana. Enjoying the joy. And the joy is in the heart, is in the upper chakras. Maybe we want to bring in some joyful activities. At this retreat, a lot of people were into pickleball. That brought them a lot of joy. Yes, so maybe we want to bring in something like that. And then looking over, and I'm going to bring my hand on my hip, my left hand, I'm going to bend the right knee. Take your hand in diagonal to the little toe side of the foot. Step that back foot in and lift off. Look at the front of the right toes, and then open the heart. Don't let the head come down. Keep it in line with the spine. Maybe extend that arm. I expand fully into this moment. Do what you can. I expand fully into this moment. Maybe you're on a knee, I forgot that, or whatever balance pose works for you. If this one, half moon, doesn't work, I know we're passing the full moon here, but this is a wonderful balance pose. I expand fully in whatever way works for you into this moment. And then the left hand on the hip, we reverse it, bending that right knee and coming up into our peaceful warrior for a moment. Okay, tracking that knee over the second toe, stretching to the right side of the body. And you guessed it, turning in, taking your block if it's helpful, bringing your left toes out to the side, right foot in to Trikonasana to the other side. So opening up, radiating strong legs from the root chakra down, security support. Love that. And yet we also know, as we talked about last class a little bit, we can't help but there is uncertainty, okay? There's no way we're not going to have uncertainty in our lives, even though we would like not to have uncertainty. Here it is, part of it. And how do we respond to the uncertainty as we open up? We would call the mystery. We must know everything. We're not. As we open to the energy and joy, fill my body cells. You allow the mystery to be there as well, the uncertainty. Uncertainty sound, it's more anxiety provoking. Mystery sounds more poetic. However you frame it, it is that part of life. We don't know. It's a learning planet. Okay, energy and joy. Fill my body cells. We're going to bring our right hand on the hip. Look and bend that left knee. I like to, if it's too much to have your hand on your knee, you can have your hand on the floor and step forward to get set up for the lift off. Look in front of those left toes. Lift the right leg. You can still be looking down, but don't let the head collapse. Head to tail connected and aligned. And then the arm. I expand fully into this moment. And balance poses moment to moment awareness, right? I expand fully into this moment. Hear that oceanic sound. When you feel complete, 3 to 5 breaths in vinyasa. Vinyasa is flowing with the poses. Bring that hand down, bend that left knee, step that right foot back, dance your warrior, tracking the knee over the second toe. Remember, we talked about the warrior, bringing that warrior heart into whatever's appearing. And then expanding out in star and coming back to our mountain pose. Knowing that all the chakras have been awakened in the right alignment. This is the many gifts of the yogis in our past have given us, is this ability to align the chakras, lengthen through the crown, and feel the space all around as well as within you. Maybe you want to tap into certain chakras that need a little bit more care and awaken compassion. And we'll come down, we're set to cool down as I like to teach, we're gonna come down and I'm gonna guide us into twist, but if there's a certain pose you wanna do instead, feel free to break out. I'm gonna take a sip of lemon water here and come right back to the twist. So I'm gonna be on the mat. And we're moving towards Shavasana. So if you're not already down there, shimmy shake down, fold the knees in, circle those knees out, inner borders of the feet together, egg ears, this is called. If you're doing this one 3 times in the opposite direction. Okay, it's wonderful on our back spinal twist. Interlock below the right knee. Left leg extends. If it's too much on your low back, keep that left knee bent. Hydrate. Circle the knee around. Again, thank you, body, for what you can do. Plant that right foot down, swivel the hips over to the right, use your opposite hand to knee and pulse back and forth. Knee and shoulder, knee and shoulder. You can have that right knee bent, or you can use the wall or just extend that leg or use a bolster, but remember the left toes turn up so the inner thighs and the core is engaged. Arms come out to the side, radiant hearts, sweeping that right arm overhead in a rainbow arc as you affirm divine light is within me and all around me. Divine light is within me and all around me. As we reflect, this time of year, how do you want to approach the world, so to speak, and within yourself? This is a great invitation, it's affirmation. You really see that divine in others. Everyone's hard to. Okay, and then soften that right knee. Fold that right knee into the shoulder, rotate the ankle, extend the right leg to the sky, reach to the ball of the foot, the arms reach up, shoulders plug in, we know this, simultaneously stretch the arms overhead, as that right heel descends, stretch through the right arm, right leg, solar energy, side of the body, and then completely soften for a couple breaths here. Back body supported by the earth. Back to the central channel, breathing. The lunar side. Inner borders of the feet come together, the left knee bends in. If you're doing that right knee, if it's too much on your low back, circle the left knee so that we open the hip. And then when it's time, we plant the right foot down, we swivel Over to the left, the opposite hand, usually in the twist, go back and forth, hydrating knee and shoulder, and the whole side, lower side of this body. You have the leg extended, you can have the knee bent, but the right toes turn up as much as they can. Press through that right elbow, try to get the shoulders to touch. Wide open heart. And left arm comes up, and then that goes along for the right. Right? As we affirm, divine light flows in me and is all around me. Divine life is within me and all around me. You could say it out loud, you could say it silently, softly. Of course, you could bring in your personal affirmation to any of the poses. And do the heart expand before we soften that left knee. And we adjust onto our spine. We fold the left knee in, rotate the ankle, massaging the ascending colon, especially in other internal organs. And extending the left leg to the sky. The arms reach up, the shoulders plug down, and we reach. And extend the arms above the head. And then we stretch through that left arm, left leg. When it feels time to soften, the legs go a bit wider and the arms come out a bit wider. And classic Shavasana, feel the lunar side. Breathe into it, shoulders away from the ears, and then tune in to the witness observer, the awareness of. Zoom out of our life and the dailiness of our life, and just having those pauses of observing and witnessing with non-judgmental awareness. That's mindfulness. Passion. Bringing the right hand on the belly, the left hand on the heart, come back to that central channel. This is where we're free of duality. In our central channel. So we're living in duality, we know that it's all around us, and then we can go non-dual. And just return to classic full yoga breathing. And inhale, belly expands, heart out of the head, and then the opposite on the exhale, crown, heart, belly, breathe. And just sense and feel what would be the best position for your Shavasana. Do you want to go into a Supta Baddha Konasana? Do you want just to, how you are is fine? Put your feet on the ball or the chair or the wall as an inversion. Just make it work for you to really now we've set the table, so to speak, for this tension releasing out deeply, and then the deep breathing of restoration of just being, pure being, pure awareness. And I will come a little bit closer for the part of this as you get situated. Main thing is being comfortable. You get the Om sound in the background, or of course, any sounds you like in your background. All right. Okay, just starting by easing the head from side to side, if that works for you in the position you're in. Hearing the sound of the breath. Returning again and again to that oceanic sound. And from the top down, from the crown, the forehead, just soften any tension in the forehead and letting the eyes and muscles of the eyes deeply relax, especially the eyelids. And as you breathe in and breathe out, you're softening your jaw. Try to relax and exaggerate that yawn, please do. And we're feeling on the next inhale the cool air coming into the nostrils and perhaps the coolness at the spiritual eye, the sixth chakra, the point between the eyebrows, where the two become one. Non-dual awareness. And the warm cooked air coming out of the nostrils. And then noticing the sense of taste inside the mouth, noticing the tongue, the teeth, the gums. The hollow in the center of the tongue. And sound around us, but more so the sound within, that oceanic sound. Let the shoulders ease away from the ears. Feel pulsation radiating through the arms, left and right. Natural bend of the elbows, left and right. And pulsation, perhaps. Sensation, especially in the palms of the hands. And feeling the digits of the fingers and thumbs. And moving in, especially to the heart chakra, the floor, the ceiling, the side walls of the chest. And affirming the highest truth that my body and mind are filled with peace and healing. Gratitude and peace flow through my body. Healing, repairing, and rejuvenating it. Divine light flows through all my body cells. And I'm healing now. My subconscious mind supports my healing. As I return to wholeness. Allowing my belly to breathe deeply. Digesting and assimilating life's experiences. As I inquire who I've become over these last 9 months, and what do I want to bring in through this equinox time? What do I want to let fall away? And what do I want to bring in? Continuing the body scan, letting the cheeks relax, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, left and right, all the way through to the soles of the feet, digits of the toes. Space inside the body. Very much connected to the space all around us, below you, above you, left and right. And as always, if you're in a deep state of rest, you're welcome to stay there. Absorption, Chara. If you're ready to return to movement, do so in a way, gradually wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe resting on your right side. Eventually, if you are coming up into a comfortable seat. And this is our classic time to send prayers of care to others through this 3-syllable Om sound. You know, the ahs in the lower chakras. It's either the oo or the o sound in the solar plexus area, and the is in the upper chakras, throat and heart. Take a moment to visualize those of you, especially now, need prayers and care, and could be the world, it's collectively, or in individuals in the world. So I rub my hands together. You're welcome to keep an open palm, whatever works for you. We'll slowly inhale. Let the sound begin. Inhale. One more time. And bringing the hands in namaste, bowing to the wisdom of your heart. And the namaste, in that divine consciousness, that's where we are one. And as we emerge and move into this autumn time, what do we want to let go of the fall? What do we want to bring in to this next transitional stage? These are inquiries you contemplate on, right? They could be answered now, but they deserve some contemplation. I'm going to now end the recording and then open it up for people who want to check in. I understand if you want to ease out completely.